No one is talking about slashing property taxes in Miami-Dade County. That's kind of like what got Mayor Alvarez booted, was the fact that he increased property taxes. Would you be opposed to slashing property taxes?
March 15th, we started a petition drive in this community. If you go to juliorobaina.org, you will also see our commitment to this community, where it talks about reversing that unjustly property tax of $178 million in last year's budget, of which $132 million was just to cover raises. And so we have made a commitment in writing to this community, saying we're going to reverse those, we're not going to increase. On the contrary, we're going to reduce the size of government, and we're going to reduce the expenses. That in itself will reduce the taxes that we are paying on our properties. We need to have that responsibility. We need to make sure that we shrink the size of the government. Right now, there's close to 60 departments in this community. 6 years ago, there was 32. The number should be somewhere between 25 and 28. And we're going to be rolling out real soon a plan that will show exactly how we're going to reorganize, restructure, and re-engineer Miami-Dade County.
Now I want to talk to you about what just reported about the tax issue regarding the property you have. Can you explain what that's all about?
Yeah, the property tax office obviously made a mistake. The director, or the tax assessor, the elected tax assessor, has already gone on record and saying that his office, before he was even there, made a mistake on that. Obviously, if there's any taxes that are due, we'll pay for it. But we will wait for the notice, and then they're doing their evaluation, then we'll go ahead and pay whatever.
So they made a mistake. They have to just reassess the property and the building.
And determine whether or not there are any taxes that are due. If there's taxes due, obviously we're going to step up and pay for them like we do in all our properties.
So that was their mistake.
They have admitted to it, and it was their mistake 100%.
Now, there's a lot of accusations flying up in your connection with a lot of these supposed illegal gambling. That one guy who came out with the Ponzi scheme, they said you were involved. Let's set the record straight about that. What is your involvement with any, if any, or anything that has to do with illegal gambling, with the little maquinitas, if you would?
First of all, in 2008, we passed an ordinance to regulate and to prohibit any type of illegal gambling in this community, to the point where the penalties are so severe that not only do they lose this machine if it's used illegally, but they lose their license to their business if it's used illegally. We have confiscated machines. We have closed down businesses. We have gone ahead and done investigations. We have done everything that the law allows us to do. Now we see that the county's looking at doing it 3 years later. Well, we started doing this in 2008. In reference to the fact that my wife and I were victims to someone who at one moment we thought was a friend that we lent money to. He stole that money not only from us, but from a lot of people in this community, to the tune of close to $40 million. Just like friends and people who were victimized by people like Rothstein and Sanford and Madoff. Well, you know, we have been very open about that. We are victims. We are suing now to try to get those dollars back. We hope there's justice not only for us, but also for the other victims that have been involved in this Ponzi scheme, where we have been working with and cooperated with all the investigators, and thanks to that, this scammer is serving 10 years in prison.
And staying on that topic, a lot of stuff is coming out in the past. I believe in 1995 there was a lot of stuff thrown at you as far as the business regulatory, state regulatory, about a fraudulent check or something. You endorsed a check. Can you explain that?
Yeah, there was a check that came in after Hurricane Andrew. We were managing property for an individual. We took a check. We placed it in an escrow account to get the roof done. It was a roof repair that needed to be done. There was an attorney who wanted to understand the transaction. He did not agree with the fact that we were waiting to fix the roof. He reported us to DPPR, and we obviously took care of that and settled it as soon as it was brought to our attention.
Now, tell me more about this education. You said you had mentioned that in Hialeah you guys started the first school of autism, I believe?
First public school for children with autism was started in the city of Hialeah. Understanding the need that there is for this epidemic that is going through the entire world, this country, this state, and this community. Understanding that most parents cannot pay for private school, cannot pay for the private treatment. We wanted to start a school, a public school that's being used right now by children all throughout this county and even in Broward County.
Well, Dan Marino is starting a new actual college for autism kids.
Correct. And so we're going to work together with Dan. We just visited his hospital and visited what they're doing, and there's a lot of collaboration with our school. And so we hope to be able to attract and expand more of these public-private partnerships to expand throughout Miami-Dade County. I know that that's the way to be able to get this done for the future and provide those families hope and provide those children who are the future of this community with a good, solid education.